do that. I mean, these cops barely have enough training as is, especially in what they call it, conflict resolution or diffusing a situation. They don't have training in that, or adequate training in that.
We still need to introduce ourselves.
Well, that's what happens when Mike just decides to just stow us live in the middle of a sentence. But hello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Fatima.
And this is
Fatash. Hey, we're back.
We're back.
I saw something the other day that was also disturbing. So like I was just discussing with Mike an episode of this podcast that I listen to while I cook. It's called Sisters Who Kill, and my whole family is disturbed that I listen to it because they'll just like,
when we say sisters, we talking black women?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Which
you don't hear too much about that.
That's why they have such a novel hook. And also they're great. They're like organized. So and there are segments to the podcast. So like they first start out with like who's the victim and then who's the murderess. And then they like tell the story from beginning to end. And then they have a segment called
He had it coming.
No, they have a segment called I didn't do it. I didn't do it, but if I did, and then it shows it has like that sound bite of I'm not black, I'm OJ from.
I mean, my quote of Chicago works too.
Yes.
If you'd have been there, if you had seen it, I bet you would have done the same.
And then they think through like what all they would have done differently if it had been them. And sometimes they're like, I can't. I just wouldn't have done this shit.
Yeah, I mean everything, hindsight is 20/20, and depending on the case, I would argue, based on what I've seen, because I also like watching true crime stuff, mainly forensic files, because I need a conclusion. I need to know y'all found who did it, and I like to know the scientific process in which you determined this was the person who did it. That's also why I watched the first 48. Not as scientific, but they're still, following the clues, interviewing people, kind of thing. So when it ends on can't find the suspect, call if you have information, I'm so mad because you never know what you're gonna get till it's the end. But anyway, I'm sorry, I lost the track.
That's all right. So I was just discussing one of those episodes with Mike.
I'm sorry. I meant to say that some of the cases are probably like based on how many episodes have you watched?
It's not
or listen to.
It's a listen to. I have no idea at this point. I've been listening
to a lot for hours.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So, out of everything you've listened to, how many of them were like premeditated, and how many were like crimes of passion, like just in the moment, popped off type stuff?
Okay, so like sometimes that's not cut and dry. Like that's a thing that I'm learning about the Sisters Who Kill, because there are a lot of there's a lot of people who say things such as, well, I know I got the knife out, but I was trying to scare him. Or I know I got the gun out and I pointed it at him, but then it went off in my hand. I was trying to scare him, or I was trying to get him off of me. I was not trying to kill him.
That is, man, I hate.
So one, stop playing. Two, like in terms of like defense, like you have to be able to convince the jury that you were in like mortal danger. Like,
well, for sure. And I mean those defenses of like I didn't mean to do it, that's probably gonna get you like manslaughter. Usually like manslaughter, like I was trying to threaten them but didn't intend to actually kill them, so you'll probably get manslaughter. And oftentimes a defense will be like it's a crime of passion. It's like it was not like I planned this shit a month in advance to kill this person. It was like heat of the moment, I'm mad. And heat of the moment could be like hours leading up. And even just having the weapon to quote unquote threaten them is still a crime of passion because you got a weapon that could kill and you have it within range of hurting someone. That was still fall under crime of passion. That's the thing
about guns. Like, having a gun in the house like increases the chances that you're going to kill somebody in the house. Like,
true, but it's not necessarily premeditated though. Just because you have the gun in the house,
but it increases because, like, if you have, so like I've heard suicide being like framed as an emotional hiccup because
excuse me.
Oh yeah,
by who?
By psychiatrists and
no, I mean, like, when they say like emotional hiccup, what do they mean by that?
Let me explain. They mean by you were just having a moment where you didn't want to live anymore, and if an easy way out had not been available, that moment would have passed and you would have lived on. And they can tell that because, like, in nations like England, where they used to have those gas ovens where, like, if you stick your head in, you die, and a lot of people committed suicide that way. But when they switched over those types of ovens so that it would be like more difficult for you to kill yourself, and people weren't able to use that as a method of suicide anymore, they saw the suicide rates plummet, like go down.
That might be the same in Japan too, where they have those blocks up so you can't cross and go into the trains. Yeah. Like more stations than not have that because it's such a common thing of just throwing themselves on the damn tracks. They even showed that in an anime once where a dude was like, he was just so tired that he was like subconsciously trying to end it all, but he didn't, just because the barrier was there, and he was just like, oh, I guess I can't do that. Like, and he was just too tired to like climb over it. But it was like, wow, if that barrier was not there, he probably would have killed himself without a second thought because he was just so over it.
And that's the issue with guns. Guns make killing easy, just like that. Like that, it makes it so easy. And people think like, well, I need it for defense, but the statistics show that you're more likely to kill the first person. You're more likely to kill somebody who's emotionally close to you, with yourself being the person number one.
I saw that in an episode of the First 48 a couple days ago. I knew off the bat this nigga did it. So like they start with like the 911 guy, like, oh my god, my girlfriend shot herself. He did it. Like, he did it. He did it. They go in, they investigate it, like the way she's laying on the ground and where the gun was. Did it make sense? They interview her parents. They're like, was she showing any signs of like suicide or anything? They're like, nah, she was happy. She's a mother of like 2 kids, so she definitely wasn't about to like leave her kids. And I was like, I already believed the boyfriend had killed her. Like, that was nothing. But that question of like, did they show signs? I feel like is kind of unfair in the sense that like some people won't give you any signs. They're happy, they're joking, they're doing all that in your face, and then the next day they could be gone. So that's not always a reliable question to be asking people. But what really got me was when the dad was like, she doesn't own any guns, and the boyfriend at one point said that she was playing with the gun. She was just waving it around and it went off. And the dad was like, that doesn't make any sense. She's grown up around guns. She knows not to play with guns. I was like, that part right there. Like, whether or not she owned a gun or not, the fact that she grew up around gun safety, and you're telling me she was just waving a gun around for fun while y'all was supposed to be cleaning the house? First of all, if you... Where my finger at? If you, as a boyfriend, and your girlfriend or wife or whatever are cleaning the house together, I guarantee you she's not the one who's playing around. She's not going out of her way to find the gun that should be locked up somewhere to just flail it around to be playing with your ass. She's not doing that. She's trying to get the house clean. That sounds like some stupid shit you would be doing to try to get out of your chores. But yeah, on top of that, it's like, you can't frame that shit. You cannot, outside of holding the gun in that person's hand and making them pull the trigger, you're not going to get the angle right as someone shooting somebody else in the head to make it look like a suicide, just based on what the gunpowder residue is going to look like from that wound, the trajectory, the exit, and then them having gunpowder residue themselves on their hand. These niggas they don't think these things through when they try to do that. And I'm not like trying to give people instructions on how to do it, but like, you're not going to get it right. You're just not. So that was just bullshit, absolute bullshit. And the fact that the dude had a history of domestic violence, of hurting other girlfriends, it was so annoying, bruh. So annoying. Fake it. Oh my god, you did. Nigga. I hate it. And it's probably some bullshit too, but that whole, like, just don't bring guns out, bruh. Do not, outside of somebody like trying to break into your house, keep the gun away.
Also, lock your guns up.
Please.
Your guns up. Do not hide your gun. Don't leave it out on the coffee table. Because I've been in people's house where the gun was just out.
No.
On the coffee
yeah,
table.
and I get it. It's like in a moment of like emergency, you need to be able to get your gun real quick. Make it a fucking like thumbnail, a thumbprint thing. Like touch thumbprint, boom, open it up type shit. But like,
not on the coffee
don't just
table
have it out. Yeah.
Where you forgot about it amongst all your mail.
Like, why was it out? Like, I could understand if like maybe you took it to the gun range to get some training in, and you were cleaning it to maintain it. But then
I was living with somebody and the gun was out, and I was like,
was he had just finished cleaning it? Because I don't know how often you should be like cleaning your guns.
She didn't tell me. Was like, oh, I typically leave it in the drawer in the kitchen. And I was like,
in the kitchen?
Yeah, it ain't got no lock on it or nothing. And I was like, oh. She was like, that, or I'll put it in the couch. I'm thinking like I could have plopped down on this couch and accidentally blown my ass away. Like, what? That
I hate it.
Their guns. I don't.
I'm if you have a gun, cool. I just need people to
lock it up, be safe.
Be safe. Know how to use it. Type stuff. Like,
if you're gonna carry it, know how to carry it. It shouldn't be falling out of your pants at the preschool that you work at. It shouldn't be shooting yourself up the leg because it dropped in the bathroom and went off.
Or just shooting yourself when you take it out. There was some hip hop dude was being interviewed, and he I think his gun fell out during the interview or something. Oh my god! Like, again, I'm not against people having guns. I just wish more people knew how to use a gun. You know, like I don't want guns around me.
Safety and gun storage,
I don't want guns around me, but like let me learn how to shoot a gun. You never know when you might be in a situation where like you need to know how to lock it, load it, shoot it, aim it. You know, that's some valuable information to have. Not something you necessarily use, but you know, you like in the Boy Scouts or something. Like, I hope they are teaching you archery and how to shoot a gun. I think that is helpful, especially if you go into the army afterwards. I'm just saying, learn education. This country don't give a fuck about education or safety.
Yeah, we're getting more dangerous and less educated every day.
Oh, child. Just keep my ass in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, child.
But I finally finished reading Beloved.
Oh, God.
I did it.
It's been like a year.
It don't matter.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, I forgot you were still reading it. Cause didn't your mom take it at some point?
No, she hasn't finished reading Tar Baby.
Like, okay, that was the one she was trying to read.
Like, Toni Morrison's books. You're gonna need a minute to read them if you're processing them. B, I don't read fiction I'm not reading it for the story. I'm reading it to go to sleep. And
so you don't even remember what you read half the time.
No, I remember, because every time I pick it up, I just go back to what I wherever I was when A, I use a bookmark, B, the last thing that I can remember, I just go back to that. So I have the story continuously in my head. But yeah, there's a lot of it that helps to make the movie more clear. Because the movie, especially the first time I saw it, very confusing. I didn't know that she didn't kill like the boys too. Because remember, like the boys, her sons are shown at the beginning of the movie, and they're like,
nope, I've never seen Beloved.
Oh, you've never seen Beloved?
Nope.
Oh, you should go. Everybody, go watch Beloved.
Because is that the one with Oprah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it makes the movie more clear. Also, I love that Oprah brought this movie to the big screen because I did like the movie. I liked it enough to read the book, but also I feel like it was kind of miscast. I feel like Setha, the main character, is a lot younger than Oprah is.
Was this Oprah post The Color Purple?
Yeah, way post.
Yeah, this was Oprah in her bag, deep in her bag. She's like, I'm motherfucking Oprah. I could do whatever I want. I could be the star. I'm not just gonna be Sophia. I'm more than Sophia. I'm not just some side character. I'm gonna be the character.
I think that Oprah, Donald Glover, I feel like the whole movie is cast like way older than the characters are in the book.
It was probably I'm keep talking. I'm gonna look up who was in charge of casting because I feel like this might just been Oprah just trying to like flex and just have her friends.
Or it was
in the movie
who were like it was a lot of back and forth in terms of like getting this movie made. So like since reading the book, I like saw a video on like the making of Beloved because I had so many questions as to why they cast the people that they did. Also, the casting of Tandy Newton as the ghost baby, confusing because Tandy Newton is so light-skinned that it makes you think that she is a rape baby, and she's not. She was like the ghost baby was the offspring of Setha and her husband, and you can tell that because when they do like give like Toni Morrison does give like graphic descriptions of cutting that baby's throat. And of her and Setha could feel like the blood pouring out, and feel her heart beating, and as like the heart was like pumping out the blood. And she talks about like how like dark the baby's skin is, and even when she comes back as a dark skin 18-year-old. Like that's the physical form that she takes. She looks just like the baby if the baby had the chance to grow up.
Quick note, it looks like this was the first film produced by Harpo Films. So that's telling. Oprah was one of the main producers. I'm still looking for who did the casting, but carry on.
Somebody that Oprah hired, possibly, I don't know, but like that
for herself.
That was also confusing.
How old are they supposed to be in the book?
They don't ever say, but like, so I think like Seth is like 36, maybe. That's how I was picturing her in my head.
36.
Like when she runs away, she's 19.
Okay.
And
I read a quick synopsis that said that like at some point her house was haunted and like 2 of her children ran away, and then there was like a time skip of 8 years later. So if she ran away at 19, some shit was happening in that 8-year span of 19. So yeah, like mid-20s, early 30s. Let me see, how old is Oprah?
Yeah, but there was also like, so like Ghost Baby comes 8 years after the boys run away because
damn, she's 71? Golly. I didn't realize she was so old. I mean, my grandma's like the same age. Oh, don't look at my legs.
Look at those legs.
Oh, child. Okay, yeah, go ahead. 1954 minus 1998.
Yeah. When I imagine Seth is a lot.
She was 44 in that role.
Yeah. Okay, but also like Seth is, like I said, Seth is.
Yeah.
I think she's like.
Yeah. Either way, from the sounds of things, she should have been in like her late 20s to mid 30s.
Yeah.
Early 40s isn't that bad of a stretch, I guess.
It was. Yeah. Okay, but also like Tandy Newton as the ghost baby, Tandy Newton makes the ghost baby mixed race, and the baby in the book is not mixed race, or it doesn't appear to be. And that also changes some elements of the story. And then like Denver is supposed to be like whatever her name is, was too old to be playing that role, because Denver is supposed to be like a teenager, like an isolated like 15-year-old. That's why like she's acting the way that she is. Like she's acting like somebody who's way younger than she is. Have you ever seen any I don't know if they do this with Japanese dramas, but they do this with Chinese dramas sometimes, where like they'll have a 40-year-old actor playing a 13-year-old, and then but then the actor plays it because they're trying to play younger. They play it like they're 7 years old. They're like skipping and shit like that.
I don't actually watch too many Japanese dramas. At best, I'll watch some of the Korean dramas. And the high school, if nothing else, the high schoolers be like, and I think part of it is like that cultural dissonance of like, I'm not familiar with Korean culture, but like these Korean kids be grown. They be stabbing, punching, damn near killing each other and adults. But then I learned that like in Korea, the penalties for children, under 18 committing certain crimes, it's lenient as fuck. You can literally commit murder at 16, 17 and be out in like maybe 2 to 5 years and then be on probation. So oftentimes
that's incentive.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of times there'll be adults committing crimes, but then they'll frame the children because they know the children will get off.
Or you'll just put somebody up to it. Somebody who's like, you 16, but you poor.
Yeah, so, or like kids will just reckless shit. They'll do like Grand Theft Auto or just robbing people because they know
better do it now.
Do it now because you'll be out on probation at best in a week. It is insane. But quick thing on the beloved movie, a film critic said, the audience will not like it, will find it confusing or too convoluted, and it does not provide the kind of easy lift at the end that they might expect. Setha's tragic story is the kind where the only happy ending is that it is over.
Oh, damn.
Like, damn.
Well, it did not. Okay, it had a happy ending for Denver. Both the book and the movie. But for Setha, like, yeah, she's sad. Like,
I mean, and that's the thing too, especially when we're talking about like a Western audience. They want a happy ending. They want resolution. They want justice. And
you need to watch more Chinese dramas.
You just need to watch more just Asian dramas in general that are not always going to give you the answers you want, but it's the right end. It's not always going to be the happiest ending, but sometimes it's the right ending for the story. Like with did you see Parasite?
Yeah.
Did you see? The ending to Parasite, was it the happiest? No. You can't even really say it was happy, but was it the right ending? Yeah,
it was fitting. It was
fitting for the story they was trying to tell about the disparity of the working class versus the hyper rich and all of that,
and how difficult it is to get out. Yeah,
it was very fitting. It was very fitting. Just not always that happy.
and how there was a glimmer of hope, because if they had had class solidarity, none of that shit would have happened.
The fact was like, let me just get in the house so I can feed my husband.
And instead of saying, "Ooh, I caught you. I'm going to use this to kiss the ass of these rich folks," she could have been like, "Cool, I don't care. Just don't get me busted. This is a good gig for me and my family."
Right. Look, I help you. You help me. I mean, they already.
And we could all be living off of these rich folks.
Everybody eat.
Yeah, everybody could have eat. Everybody could have ate.
Like
everybody could have ate.
The way the boy maneuvered his whole family into roles. Got the dad as the driver, got the mom as like the cook, he's the tutor, the sister was like the art tutor or something.
I'm sorry that we fucked up your gig so that we could get us all in here, but you're hiding your husband in here, so that's a reason for you not to tell on me, and I won't tell on you.
And that's the only part that like I hated, was that it cost somebody their job. Y'all could have had like a rotating schedule or something, like every other week, every other day type situation. Like,
we cost you your job, but like we didn't have to like tell on you about you got your husband down here, because like we don't really care.
No, I mean that would be leverage to like keep her quiet. After already, it's essentially kicking her while she's down.
And you could have and you could have let that man like eat and see his wife just whenever.
Shoot, maybe she could have moved in with him.
Right. Yeah, we're talking about Parasite.
I like how you come in mid description and know what movie we're talking about.
Because Ashley was saying like people gave Beloved bad reviews
because the ending wasn't happy. And wrapped up.
It was confusing the way that some things were framed.
Yeah, but
is more clear. But also the book does like jump back and forth between present day and flashbacks.
There's an art to non-linear storytelling.
Yeah,
and not everybody can do that, especially. Right. In like a visual form, like you could have at the very least put like a timestamp up that says like it's 1962 present day, because I think they did something like that with like Benjamin Button, but you also had the added bonus of the fact that Benjamin is de-aging essentially, so you knew that time was changing. If you're not really delineating how time is changing because you still have the same actors playing certain roles.
Well, they do have like a younger Setha and then older Setha, which is played by two different characters.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still confusing as to in what order did events happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also confusing the scene where she had like killed the baby, because like her two sons are also laying there looking dead, but they weren't dead. She had attacked them. She had tried to kill them. She was trying to kill her. She was trying to kill all of her kids. She only got to the baby first. Well, she got to the one that was not named yet. It was called it was called Almost Crawling, because she had not had the baby in
Almost Crawling.
Almost Crawling.
Just call it the baby at that point. Just
everybody called because other people, she had gotten separated from her other three children, and so other people were taking care of her children before she had arrived with the new baby that she had given birth to on the way.
Okay, we'll call it new baby. Well, Almost Crawling just feels worse.
Everybody was calling the baby Almost Crawling. And the way that, and also like the book talks about how she got the name Beloved. So she killed the baby. The white people came. The white people were like, "Oh, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with this. Send her to jail." Okay, does she go to jail for murder? No, because they still don't see black people as people. She goes to jail for like damaging property.
Mm. 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 Mm.
It is white abolitionists that make an argument to get her out, and also she's able to attend the funeral for her baby. And in the funeral, she hears the words "dearly beloved" when they start talking, doing like the sermon for the funeral. And those are the only two words she heard before she started disassociating.
So you go to jail for damaging property, and we're having a funeral for property.
Well, the black people had the funeral. The black people still see the baby as a baby.
Okay. I'm about to say the white folks over here having a funeral for their damaged property.
No.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense.
Dearly beloved, that's the last thing she hears before she starts disassociating. And then in order for her to get a headstone for her baby, the person who does the headstone stuff made her fuck for it.
And are these based on Toni Morrison's like life? Did this happen to her?
No. So this story, like the roots of this story, are in a real life like thing that happened during slavery. It happened to a woman, I think, in Kentucky, where she had the woman was from Kentucky. She had escaped to Ohio, and the marshals, U.S. Marshals came to take her back under the 1850 fugitive slave laws. And when they bust into the like barn that she was hiding in, she was trying to kill all of her children. She had succeeded in killing one of them.
Oof.
So, and this came across her desk when when Toni Morrison was a publisher, and it became like the roots of like the fiction that she wanted to write out of it.
Wow, life be crazier than fiction.
Yeah, it really does. So the person who wrote the headstone like made her fuck for it, and she told him he could do whatever for 10 minutes in front of his son. I know, just insult upon insult upon insult, and then like even after eyes? Like
where are my eyes? I need my disappointing eyes. Men, what are we doing? What? God, why are some men so gross?
And then even so like that's how the book starts off, and then even at the end.
Oh, that's how we starting.
That's how we're starting.
No wonder it took you 2 years to read this book.
Toni Morrison gets right to it. If you've ever read The Bluest Eye, like you find out that Piccola's father had raped her and that she was pregnant with his baby, and that she loses the baby on like the first page.
Absolutely not.
Like all these years later, after like Beloved comes, they're living in this haunted house after Beloved takes physical form and is like making Seth the craziest shit. And then all of the women come together and have like this like hoodoo-esque like exorcism, and she goes away. Seth, one of the thoughts that she's still having is, could I have gotten the whole thing if I had given him 10 more minutes or maybe half an hour? Could I have gotten Dearly Beloved on her headstone?
That's so sad.
It's really
I don't have the mental capacity for a Toni Morrison story. I like
she wrote some children's books. Maybe you could check those out.
No, see, and I'm not like,
you don't trust her to write a children's book now.
I'm not ragging on you for like taking so long to read. It was more so like, oh wow, I forgot you were still reading it kind of thing. But like the subject matter, yeah, that's gonna take you. That's not something you just gonna buzz through on a Sunday.
I was reading other people talking about reading this book. It also took them a long time because it's a tough read. Like every other page is like, oof, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's also rough.
No, and I would drop shit and never come back. You've been witness to plenty. I have dropped anime 2 episodes from the finale. I don't care. I'm done. I've seen all I need to see, and I don't care how it ends. I can already make the assumptions. So a book with heavy subject matter like that?
Very, very heavy subject matter. Yeah.
No. I already have a 2-year backlog of manga that I actually wanted to read.
Yeah. But I still love Toni Morrison because if you want to feel something, read a Toni Morrison book. That. But it's not all dark. There's also like lots of hope and joy and all of that stuff. And community.
My therapist says I should experience things.
Oh, you know what? I just came across it was a post on Twitter where somebody was saying like the only thing that helped him with his depression was to just like leave the house every day.
Oh.
And somebody had and like there were some people who had the same reaction you did, and there were other people that said that it had helped them. And there was one person who said that what helped him was to create an Excel spreadsheet, and I remember that you like spreadsheets as much as I do. And what he would do is write down like where he was going or what experience he was about to have when he was like gonna go to whatever place, and what his expectations were. Like he thought like, okay, I'm gonna go to a friend's birthday party, or I'm gonna go do this, like little efforts to make to get out. And he'd write down like what he expected, like on a rating scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not gonna have a good time, 10 being had the best time, and then like look at the expectations versus like coming back to it and saying like what his actual experience was. And after a while he could see that not always, but more often than not, like the dread that he was feeling was unfounded because he would have a better time than he expected to. But it's something that only like bears out if you're willing to like do all that shit in Excel.
Well, my therapist said, because I told her that I've been trying to just go out and just put myself in places just to kind of inoculate myself to people, because I do try to avoid them, but it's like, let me actually like try to be amongst the people and hopefully not be pissed off by it. And because she's like, well, what do you define as good or bad? And I couldn't really answer that or really remember the last time I said something was good outside of like when I went on vacation with my family. And that was, for all intents and purposes, good. It was fine. It was fine. It was good. It was not like, oh my God, I can't wait to do it again. But I don't regret it. And that's kind of how I've been describing a lot of things. Like, I don't feel like I wasted my money. It was fine. If I can say those 2 things, it didn't piss me off, then we're good. And so she was basically like, well, try to go and experience things and not be in the mindset of it's going to be good, it's going to be bad. Just experience the thing. I'm like, so I gotta turn my brain off, which is hard because like a lot of the things that you're doing, you go in with like some level of expectation, good or bad. Like if you want the thing to be good, you're going in hoping it's going to be good, and if you think it's going to be bad, then you're bracing for it being bad. So it's kind of hard because you can go into something expecting it to be bad and be pleasantly surprised. That's great. But if you go in and hoping something's going to be good and everything wrong that can go wrong goes wrong, it's devastating. So it's like, how do I go into experiences neutral with my brain, which is more black and white than I thought it was, because I am trying to be more flexible and like not thinking things as one way or another. There's a mix of good and bad in everything.
Did she give you tips for that?
Not really, outside of like the exercise of going out and just not labeling things. Just do more things and experience the things. Just to get more of like a baseline.
What do you think about like, so instead of saying like, instead of making something, okay, so instead of like focusing on like what you expect or what your expectations are for an experience, like when you catch yourself doing that, could you just focus on your breath? In that way you're replacing like one thought pattern with another. Would that work?
Maybe. She has been encouraging me to do more grounding exercises, but I haven't like implemented them in situations that I feel like is relevant. Like I just never really do grounding, I think, in the way that I should be. I'll walk away from things. Like if I feel overwhelmed, I'll just stop that thing and just do something else. But that's not as grounding as like just sit there and concentrate on your breathing type thing. I don't think. Like for me, if I'm in a heightened sense, I need something more than just concentrating on my breathing to like get me back to base kind of thing. So I mean, it's something I can try for sure. So yeah, because I definitely start hyper fixating on things that I don't like. If like immediately, if something is not going the way I want, I start to spiral.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I lost one of my pens. I lost one of my enamel pens.
Oh boy.
I'm fucking mad because it's one of my problem child enamel pens too. Like I've managed to catch it when it does fall off, but this was the one time I did it, and it's annoying too because I just touched it. I went to the movies yesterday, and I had noticed, oh, it's not in the right position. Let me refix it. I refixed it. I watched the movie. I got up, got on the train, and at some point between the movie theater and the train, I lost the fucking pen. And I think the backing to it too, which normally if I lose the backing, it sometimes falls into the pocket, but it's gone. And then on top of that, the pen I lost was the Premiere Pro logo, because I had like the pens associated with my editing. So I had a Premiere Pro pen, a Photoshop pen, and what's the other one? And After Effects. Those are like the main three that I use in my freelancing. And to lose the Premiere Pro editing pen just felt like a bad omen.
Those are really expensive, aren't they?
Not too expensive. I got them on sale when I went to this Patches and Pens festival when it was here in Chicago. They mainly do New York and California. But it was like buy 3 and it was discounted. To buy them by themselves would be like $10. And I fortunately found their website because they did engrave their name on the back of the enamel. So I found the website, which was what my friend suggested. She's like, oh, you could just buy another one. I'm like, I don't know what their website is. And I was like, let me just look on the back of the pen. Okay, here they are. I know what their website is. I'm following them on Instagram just to see if maybe they'll pop up someplace else and I could buy it in person. But it's like, I don't want to pay $10 for just the one pen and then pay $5 for shipping when I got it as a deal, when I bought them as 3. So like, again, that spiraling mindset of like, it's gonna cost this and it's that and this, and then the bad omen of the editing one being missing. And the only thing I could really do to like stop the spiral was just, all right, let's protect the 2 that we have left. We'll put that in the pocket and let's find some more secure backing pens. Because I have backing pens. I could have put the lock on it because I had extras. And I was like, oh, it's warm out today. I'm going to wear my enamel jacket with all my pens. I don't know why I didn't think to lock that stupid pen. But all I could do at that point to like just be resolution oriented, so I just went out of my way to go to a Michael's to buy more of those bagging pins so I could just lock down each and every other pin that I still have on that jacket. It's not much of a grounding, but it's like we're not focusing on what we lost. We're focusing on what we can do now to prevent any more damage, kind of thing. But that spiral is so quick. There's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And I know it's like that devil on your shoulder too, because I was like, oh man, I lost an enamel pen. And then there's that voice. It's the Premiere Pro pen. That's your editing software. You lost a physical representation of what you yourself were feeling? That's a bad omen. I'm like, oh my god, it is! What does it mean? And I don't have a next therapy session for like a month, so it's like, I can't even text her and be like, I lost it! It's a sign!
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. I had a rough week last week too. It just felt like everything was going wrong and I was trying to run in like wet sand or something like that. Like everything went wrong. I tried a new recipe for a dessert. And oh boy, was it watery. Like so wet. It's not supposed to be wet. It's
What did you do to ground yourself?
Yeah,
you just spiraled. You just crashed out.
I crashed out for a little bit, and then, but also I journal every day, and I think like I would crash out worse and more continuously if I did not journal every day. Or I have been journaling every day for the past like 3 months, but typically like I've been filling up some notebooks because I've had a lot on my mind. But also like Trevor wanted to drive the car. Why is the battery dead? Then we had to dead, completely deceased. Like it doesn't need a jump, needs a new battery. So then like they had to go handle all of that, call around who does the battery. We found a place. It's a place where I go get our oil changes regularly. Go there. For some reason the guy thinks he knows my dad. My dad's never been there.
You just have such a familiar face. He must know your dad.
I have a familiar face too. Yeah, I have those experiences a lot where people think that they know me, and then they're like, "Wait a minute."
Usually, yeah, like you have the face.
Thought you were a blind girl that I knew in high school, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no, it's usually
shopping. Like
it's usually when I start talking that they're like, "Yeah, no, you're not that person I thought you were."
I've had little children reach out their hands to me and say, "Auntie," and then I get closer and they're like, "Wait."
Stranger danger.
Then they're like, "Oh, this battery's only 2 years old. It's probably still under warranty. Don't you want to like take it to the place where you got it and get the warranty?" We're like, "No, we just want the battery now. We want the new battery now. We appreciate you being honest and trying to save us some money, but we want to get it done now and then be done."
I mean, at least you know that it's still under warranty, so you could at least get like a backup one for next time, so you don't have to go back to the people's.
I don't know. No, we just let them keep it. We were just saying like we just want a new battery right now. We'll pay whatever it costs. Just want to get it done now and go away.
You brought your brother with you when you did that?
No.
Oh, it was just you?
Yeah, well, it's me and Dad.
Okay.
Dad followed me in his new hybrid Lexus. He was like, well, if you need a jump on the way, because like he was like, well, don't restart, because like we got it jumped using Mom's car, and then he was like, don't like turn it off because like it's not like I can give you a jump because this is an hybrid.
I'm electric. I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You peons are still using gasoline. I just plug into a USB.
Yes, pretty much. Well, it's a hybrid, so he doesn't plug it into anywhere, but it just gets a lot of gas mileage. So yeah, he had to remind me that so fancy. He was like, "Did you?" And he keeps sending us videos. Like, did you watch the video? Because like there's a learning curve to you like figuring out how to drive this car. And I was just kind of like,
look, if you're the only one driving that car, then read up on everything you need to. But I don't intend to drive your car, so I really don't care.
That's the way I was thinking. But then he was like, "Well, when we go to Mississippi, I need my help.
You gotta do your homework.
Drive. So, like, yes, you must learn how to drive this car.
Y'all still don't want to fly to Mississippi?
We still can't. I think I explained this. So where our property is in Mississippi.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's so common. My friend also has like property down south, and it's like it's just makes more sense to drive all the way from the Midwest down to the south to where they need to be, just because there's no airport that's like within range anyway, so you'll need to rent a car type bullshit.
Yeah, and then with I don't know if you've ever seen any of those news stories on Hertz about how Hertz frequently messes up people's records to the point where like you will rent from Hertz, bring the car back intact and everything, and they'll be like, we don't have a record of you bringing it back, you stole this car, and they will literally send the police after you. I don't want the police coming after me in the South. I don't want the police coming after me, period, but like definitely not in the South.
I heard they had a lot of instances where like I think it was Hertz that bought like a fleet of Teslas back in the day when Teslas was like the hot shit, and they be trying to like give people free upgrades to Teslas. It's like, no, I don't want a fucking Tesla. Like, one, I'm about to do a road trip, so I don't want to have to worry about trying to find a specialized Tesla charge station for the stuff that I'm doing. And now, given the political climate, I sure as hell don't want to be seen in no goddamn Tesla.
Also, I don't want to burn up in that bitch because they have a lot of problems with that being like a big old metal can that you can't get out of if you crash. And it's got that weird battery that causes an electric fire, which is very difficult to put out.
Or one congressman's sister-in-law, she died because the car like backed into a lake or some shit and she couldn't get out.
Yeah, because you can't get out of that steel metal, whatever the fuck kind of metal it
is. And I'm just talking the Tesla sedans. The Tesla trucks.
Oh, those Cybertrucks.
The Cybertrucks.
Like Elon Musk.
Them things are so fucking ugly. Just bring the Humvees back. If your dick is small, just drive a Humvee. Just drive a Humvee. At least those look cool. Excessive, but cool. You'll be able to cross some sand dunes, drive through a puddle without stalling. Them things are so fucking ugly. I cannot stand the Cybertruck. I instinctively boo every time I see one.
Yeah. No. They're ugly.
So ugly. And again, this is before the political climate that we're in. Those things were just ugly.
They were ugly then.
They were ugly then. The demonstration he did, like, oh, look how strong the windows are, immediately cracked. Nigga. Are you kidding me?
Gross.
Ugly ass car. This car is so ugly. I've designed Gumi ships in Kingdom Hearts that looked cooler than the fucking Cybertruck. Look up the Gumi ships from Kingdom Hearts and you'll know what I'm talking about. Them shits are blocky as fuck. And I would sooner be caught dead in one of those than a fucking Tesla Cybertruck. Oh god. Shit, I want to play Kingdom Hearts 2 right now. They were so ugly. Anyway,
I've been trying to figure out what to read next because I always need a break from Toni Morrison after I read Toni Morrison.
Yeah.
And I had bought this book. Like,
it looks boring. What is that?
It's Alexander Hamilton.
Oh. He's not black.
Well, no.
I'm kidding. I know. Oh, God.
Yeah. And now I'm like, how long is it going to take me to read this book if it took me that long?
Thick as fuck.
But I read the other books faster because they're typically not as just heavy.
And we are not saved. What is that about? And we are not. Oh. How about you read some smut? That'll lift your spirits. What was the name of one of our co-hosts on Blurred Dot tonight at 7:30? His mom just published a book. What was it called? Champagne Kisses, Mike? I want to say it was called Champagne Kisses. I'm not saying it's smut, but it's for a mature audience. Apparently, I haven't read it yet. But it's sold out. The pre-orders are sold out.
That reminds me, I still haven't finished my book with that door.
Girl, what? I thought that was a short novella.
I know, but it's on my iPad, which means that I don't read it before I go to bed because I don't because that's the whole point of me reading books before bed, to avoid scrolling in blue light.
Okay, well, in that case, I don't think how much lighter you can get than door fucking. I know my neighbor's like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Blue light from the screens. That's why I'm reading physical books.
Right. I'm okay. Okay, well, print it. Connect it to a printer and it's. You can't
print it. I don't think so.
You see if you can export a PDF. See if you can export it as a PDF and then print it.
Oh, it would just be my luck that I print it off, forget about it. Dad comes in to use the printer. It's like, what's this?
Whatever, Dad. I'm a 40-plus-year-old woman and I'll read smut. What are you gonna do about it?
What are
Nothing. You wanna read it too?
Around the doorknobs in the house.
Look, you're not allowed to have a doorknob on your bedroom door anymore. So this is why she's still single, huh? Yeah. Men just don't do it for her no more, huh? It's like I know the song went slob on my knob, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not the knobs in my house, you won't. Oh God. Well.
Yeah. So I'm trying. I'm trying. Last night I challenged myself to read one page, and I don't know if this is gonna be my next book because it's starting off a little boring.
But that's the point. You're trying to go to sleep.
I know, but I want to think about something. I don't want to be bored before I go to sleep. It's also the books are also competing with I'm trying to keep myself off of my phone, because if I skip to scrolling on the phone, I told you I will be looking up just any old stupid thing. Is Jesus really buried in Japan? Because some people seem to think yes.
I just end up randomly shopping. I'm like, I wonder if this thing is available at a store near me. Let me go to sleep. But I
would think about some candy that I had 30 years ago and be like, do they still make?
Do they still sell that?
Do they still make dweebs? What happened to dweebs? There used to be a counterpart to nerds. They were called dweebs. And
what? Yeah. Not dorks?
Nope. They were called dweebs. And they were so good, but now nobody makes them. And I'm sure if somebody does have a 30-year-old package of dweebs, it's $2,000.
Man, yeah, you are showing your age with that, because I have never heard of dweebs. They should have made them dorks and Poindexters.
I know there could have been like a whole nerd family of candies. I would have been here for it. But
nerds,
no.
dorks, geeks, dweebs.
Dweebs.
Yeah, they missed out.
Yeah. And that's why I need a physical book and my handy dandy like Webster's like little thing that you can look up words with. Because Toni Morrison does use some big words and some small difficult words. Like
you can't even learn new words. Even with like context clues, you don't know.
No, what I'm going to look that up. Because she'll be referring to something that is like regional and specific. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because also her stuff is very also like steeped in history. Like she does a lot of things about like little pockets of Black communities at a certain period in time.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I've managed to how many books did I read this weekend out of my stash? I read. Was it only 2? It was only 2, but
it's a weekend.
Yeah, I mean, but considering I have almost 3 years worth of manga just stacked up, and each book could easily just take me 45 minutes to an hour to read, I could have blasted through a lot of these, if not finished out some of the series that I have. But baby steps. Another thing my therapist said, like, just pick up a book, read a couple pages, and come back to it. Like, you don't have to finish the book. But I'm like, it shouldn't take me that long, but baby steps. I had the urge to read, so I read. Oh no, I take that back. I read 3 books. 2 of them were new, so they didn't even get added to the pile because I just read them immediately as I got them home. And I read 1 book out of the pile. So I am somewhat proud of myself.
You did.
Kind of. Yeah.
You did it.
Yes, thank you. I have to stop minimizing my achievements.
Take the win.
I know. I didn't add 2 more to the pile, and I took 1 out. Growth.
It is. Are you
little by little?
Are you watching The White Lotus?
No, I'm not. Between White Lotus and Severance, that's like one of the 2 series. Those are the 2 series that people have been like talking about interchangeably. I have started. It's called The Pit. It's a medical drama on HBO Max, and a lot of doctors are like, "This is the most realistic depiction of the ER in years." Cause they just be spewing medical stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I need somebody to tell me what the fuck they just said. But it is really compelling. Like, it's in the same format of like 24, how like every episode was an hour in a day.
Yeah.
Every episode is an hour in a 15-hour shift at the it's like one of the emergency rooms in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So really interesting. I have cried multiple times in one episode, just because of like how realistic it is of like people dying on the ship. I think they had at least 2 people die. One was like a child, and it's like I couldn't do it. I could not work in an emergency room if a child died on my watch, let alone if I had to like be the one giving them CPR. Oh my god, one of the students, he's like in his I forget what they said, like maybe level 1, whatever it is, where he's like doing his rounds at hospital now. Man, in the 8 hours he's been there, he has gone through it, between having to change his scrubs. Like, there was like some meth addict that came in that was coming off his high. He peed on him. Somebody's leg had an ulcer and he went to cut it. It started spraying blood on him. Some guy he was talking to 1 minute had a heart attack the next and died, and he's like, what could we have done? And all the doctors are telling him like, there's nothing we could have done. His chart said XYZ in the third. The next step would have just been sending him home with like follow-up instructions. There was nothing we could do. That boy was doing CPR on that man for like 45 minutes. Which apparently, if you ain't breaking a rib, you ain't doing CPR right.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
I'm like, goddamn, that's crazy. So yeah, the pit's pretty good in terms of like medical accuracy. I also saw a woman give birth. I saw a baby crowning. I saw a vagina. Did not need to see that. I was like, I don't want to see that. I was like, it's so wide. All that baby coming out of that hole. Oh my god, I can't. Woo, child. But yeah, it's emotional. There's no music either, so there's not that like manipulation of like the OST trying to make you cry. It's all acting. It's just all acting. And again, these deaths come at you fast, cause that's the ER. It's oh. Yeah, it was sad, but it's good. It's a good show. I'm enjoying it. I think there's 8 episodes. No, there's 11 episodes now. So,
okay,
if you're interested, hop on in, give it a watch.
I for some reason have never wanted to watch any of the hospital dramas. I think the last hospital drama that I saw was Nurse
Grey's Anatomy.
No, I have never, ever been a fan of Grey's Anatomy.
I used to love Grey's Anatomy. Me and my mom on I think it was like Thursday nights, we'd watch Grey's Anatomy and Desperate Housewives.
Maybe it was because I was a drug rep that is just kind of like, I don't care what these doctors do.
I can get that. plus it's a dramatization by Shonda Rhimes at that.
Oh my god. I was about to say I like Shonda Rhimes, and then I was like, the little devil on my shoulder was like, stop lying.
No, you don't.
It was like, Shonda Rhimes is how you started watching Chinese dramas.
But yeah, like...
It is, because like, I want to see black women, like, win and get everything, and then, like, they don't, and when it starts off with, she's married to this dude, and explain to me why there's some dead girl on your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, there's naked pictures of some dead girl on your phone, and I was just kind of like, oh, so he cheating? Oh, fuck this.
Well, I mean, that's how you got away with murder. What about that other one with the black woman being the mistress to the president?
You're not winning. You're the mistress.
Yeah,
you're the forever mistress.
Yes, I agree.
I was like, so let me get this right. Right. So like, even when we write it and we have total control, we still can't win. No. Yeah. Chinese dramas, because Chinese women write dramas for Chinese women where she gonna get everything. She gonna get the money, she gonna get the man. She there's not gonna be any like compromise over like, yeah, she kind of got him, but she gotta share him. Like, no.
Yeah, no. I'm not a fan of the black mistress.
Just fucking win, okay?
Yeah. Well, shoot, I wish there was more suggestions I could make of that being a thing outside of like Insecure.
She did not win. That ending was terrible.
Okay. Well, I mean, Issa was a compromise. I think Molly,
I would not from the baby mama's perspective, I would not want my child in the care of someone who had imagined throwing my baby away. like,
but she didn't tell her that.
But
here's the thing. But boy,
the audience knows that's how she feels about the baby, and now she's the stepmom.
No. But that's the thing, because this is years later. And mind you, this is also years later of me reflecting on the ending. But this is years later that they have circled back to being a couple. Like, the baby is now, I don't know, he looked maybe 5 or 6. So we could say this is maybe 6 years later. They have dated other people. They've had other relationships. And now they just happen to circle back. Now, I, for one, do not like the idea that they circled back. But I can accept that they circled back years later and are more mature now. Like, I can accept that fact. I don't like that they circled back, but if we want to encourage the idea of people can grow, learn, and mature with some time, then cool.
2 words.
Also, Molly also did some growth too. I don't necessarily care for the dude she ended up with because they kind of like projected that back in like season 1 or 2 when he was the only other like black dude around her age with the same attitude problem as her. So I'm like, yeah, they gonna end up together at some point. But she at least grew in terms of like how to deal with her relationships, both her friendships, her family, and with men. It took a lot of falling to get there, but she got there.
Train of doing mental cartwheels to make that bad ending good.
It's not mental cartwheels. It's not mental cartwheels.
I hated it.
It's not mental cartwheels, but you know,
I hated it. You didn't like it. I hated it.
Okay. It's not mental cartwheels. Like it makes sense. I don't like it, but I understand it. Again, like back to happy endings versus endings that are fitting.
Chinese drama has a lot of fitting endings that aren't that happy. But like I said, like we can't win even if we write it directly.
Okay. I got one. Maybe. Did you watch I Might Kill You? I Might Destroy You?
This Might Destroy You?
I Might Destroy You.
No. I like chewing gum.
Yeah, that was by that same chick.
Okay, I did see the second one. I like all of her shit.
Now, thank you. I May Destroy You.
Yes.
I I May Destroy You. I do not like bubble gum, chewing gum, whatever the fuck that is. I fucking hated chewing gum.
Oh, I love chewing gum.
I hated chewing gum. Her character got on my nerves so bad. She was so fucking thirsty to the point of just stupidity. I'm like, girl, why are you this desperate for dick? You about to get dick in a crack den. This is so bad.
Of that ultra Christian upbringing.
I could have watched the cringe. It was too bad.
And that gay man that she was dating forever.
That secondhand embarrassment was too much. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And it was so
that I loved her. I loved
it. Was so like I could watch clips from the show, but like to watch it in its entirety, I'm like, absolutely, I can't with her. I don't like her. But I loved I May Destroy You. That one was more autobiographical to an extent because it was based on an actual experience she had, and there was comedy sprinkled in. So I'm like, okay, she is funny. She's a great comedic. She's a great comedic actress and dramatic actress. Love that. So I May Destroy You. I would say the woman won in a way. I mean, some shit happened to her, but she came out the other side.
Fitting ending. I loved it. Like I said.
Yeah.
I like that. But that ending on Insecure.
Look, listen. You're not alone in that thought process. You're not alone. Again, I can understand why you didn't like it. There are aspects of it that I don't like either. But I can see how we got there. Got there and how it could make sense.
Everybody settled. Nobody got what they wanted.
Oh, you don't think Molly got what she wanted? She wanted to be married. Molly wanted to be married to a black man. She married a black man.
Yeah. But like
she ain't settled.
The chemistry between them, I kind of
yeah, agreed. I did not like the chemistry.
I really feel like he was happy. That's who was happy. Molly.
I mean, and again, she was happy too.
Was feeling for me, I felt like this. Oh, it felt like she settled, but
that is what she wanted. She wanted to marry a black man. That is like the through line from season 1 to where she ended up. She wanted to marry a black man. And I think that might be part of the story in itself. Was like, sometimes to get what you think you want, you're going to have to settle. Because if we're honest, Asian Bae was a better boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it was her fault wholeheartedly. Because he tried. He was probably the best boyfriend for her growth and realizing I'm fucking up a good thing when they happen. And their chemistry was good.
Yeah.
But again, she wants to, because even in her mind, she was saying like, you know, this isn't gonna last long anyway, because I'm gonna marry me a black man. And look what she got. She got her black man. She's married, but
she don't like his ass.
Is it really what you want and need to get what
I gotta get going. I do not want to continue to talk about how much I hated that fucking ending of Insecure. And nothing will convince me otherwise.
That's fair. That's fair. Well,
all right. Well, it's been real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'll see you next week, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've been Ash.
I've been Fatima.
And this has been Fatash.
Fatash. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.